Hi everyone, I'm Alan from In the Wild Houseplant and the Indoor Garden Design Studio here in Shanghai. Today we're gonna do the second part of our indoor garden building process, which is the most exciting and wonderful things in this whole process. It is planting. And I'm also gonna share 5 tips with you about how to plant in these indoor gardens. So let's go. Number 1, always go big. Yes, somebody may be afraid of using big plants in a quite small space like indoor garden, but the bigger the plants you can get in your garden, the more beautiful it can create for you. It can immediately set tone of your whole garden. In my case, I am present you this. It is beautiful, isn't it? I really like this kind of big foliage. It is pretty similar like bird of paradise, but it is much bigger, and of course it can grow much taller. And you may notice that all those leaves were burned, and because it is quite hard to get them in Shanghai, and another reason it is it is much cheaper to buy those plants with those burning leaves. But you should focus on the roots. If the roots were okay, the plants can be perfect. And one thing I should mention about it is when you are planting big, always try to measure your space first. Like my place here, the ceiling it is about 6 meters high, and my plants here it is like 3 meters tall. So I'm still left about 3 meters rooms for it to grow. So make sure when you are planting some big, the space is quite important. And here comes the second. Number 2, always arrange your plants before you plant it, before you pot in, and try to move it with different places, and you will get the best answer for yourself. So let's do the second part. When you are planting, it is the same principle with go big. Always try to plant the big plants first and choose the other small ones. So let's begin with my journey. Oh, is this big alocasia first? My philodendron ghost will be sitting here, and another philodendron will be sitting here, like in the future. I'm gonna put a moss pole here, so my philodendrons can climbing up, but I guess it will remain at the next episode, I guess. In China, we call this 兔耳蔓绿绒, which is rapid air philodendron. Yeah, it is already very tall. So when I put the moss pole here, it can grow right up there. And another philodendron waiting for the moss pole. Another philodendron. Yeah, and philodendron black vivid. Yeah, it has. You're trying to be called the 黑金蔓绿绒, but yes, I forget the botanic name of this. I will figure out later. You will notice that if you will watch my previous video, that my flat wasn't fully filled, because this is also a small tip. It is when you are planting big bed like this, always put your bed, always put your pot first, and when you are finishing all these position things, and then after you can fill the gap of those between these gaps. It will much easier for you to do this. And next, I'm gonna show you the most valuable tip about position plants. It is always keep your most vulnerable and the most expensive plants in the center point of your whole garden, because it is much easier for you to take care, because it is so obvious that nobody can forget it. Yeah, for me, obviously, I will choose this one for the vocal point. It is my Monstera variegata. Yeah, it is so beautiful. I'm gonna put it in the front, of course. This is also Monstera, but yeah, it's just being new popping. So I guess we'll find it here. I guess I'll put it here. Another philodendron. Ah, take a look at this one. Alocasia. Wow, this is pure white leaf. Yeah, also put it in the front. This is my Taka, and haven't flowered yet. Yeah, it also needs the darkness. Okay, let me take a look. And also leave some very beautiful orchid for the gap between those big trees. This is orchid like Heart of Manhattan. In China we call it 曼哈顿之星. Should be the heart of Manhattan. I think my orchid will be perfectly fine with my traveler's tree here. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this arrangement. Third tip that I'm gonna tell you about it is the level. Yeah, in the garden design, in the things about the garden design, we always talk about 3 levels, like the ground level, and the middle level, and the top level. And obviously, you always try to use all those 3 levels plants when you are planting. But the one thing that I want to mention in particular, it is the ground level. Always try to create some rugged terrain and try to create some up and downs. Tip number 4, it is know your place. It is always right to talk about the golden principle of garden design. It is right plant, right place. And but when you are talking about indoor garden like this, you should consider more, especially how the garden can interact with people and other spaces. For example, traffic flow. And this is my alocasia elephant ear. It can grow very, very huge. So I didn't plant it here, because if I plant it here, it will stop me. It will make me hard to pass. So I put it there. This is my bench here. So by putting this plant here, it can create a feeling that you can sitting under a tree. And another example is this traveler's tree here. The reason I choose this particular tree, there's one more reason I choose this particular tree actually. It is try to provide some privacy of my main bathroom here. So I hope that one day this tree can grow bigger, and the leaves can block the window view, so it can provide me some kind of privacy. The point I want to make it is always think more about plants, about space, how you can interact both kind of space, how to make your plants and you make your space interesting. So I guess this is all the things that I'm gonna say in this part 2 of my indoor garden building journey. So if you are interested in what I'm doing right now, please subscribe. I'm gonna see you in next episode. Thank you. Bye bye.